So you just got that totally wrong.
Financial technology is getting a lot of attention today, but behind every technology story are people working hard to help advisors build a better business. We're traveling across the country to meet those people and learn why they are dedicated to the success of advisors. These are the innovators, these are their stories. This is FPPad Tech Tour. FPPad Tech Tour is brought to you by Backstage sponsors, InvestNet Tamarack, Orion Advisor Services, and Redtail Technology, with additional support provided by these roadie sponsors. For our second stop around Philadelphia, we headed west of the city to Oaks, Pennsylvania, and the headquarters of SEI. That is where Raef Lee greeted us with our own parking spot for the day and took us on a personal tour of their campus to talk about the investments the company has made to deliver advisor technology solutions. Raef, I've enjoyed learning more about the facility here in Oaks, but can you tell me more specifically what area we're in?
Yeah, we're down in the development area now, and what you see is the broad floor here. There's probably about 100, 120 people here, and we have another floor just like that up above. So this is our development area, and about early 2000 we knew we were going to be doing a lot of development. So what we did is we started doing our Indian outsource partnership, and we were one of the very early groups to do that. And what that has meant is that over the last few years we have been able to crank out a lot of software.
Sure.
More recently, what we started seeing was that it was much harder to actually get the sort of throughput we wanted. And about 4 years ago, we went into an agile process.
Okay.
And totally changed the way that we did technology and developed technology. And now we're deep in 4 years into an agile process where we've expanded from doing 2 releases a year to now doing 4 releases a year.
Good.
And so that has really helped in terms of being able to meet client expectations. And we're now actually somewhat ahead, because we almost now do too many releases for advisors to be able to stay with one of our sort of key problems. But this is the environment. We also have another 200-300 people offshore in India, and what we found is this mechanism of being able to have an onshore-offshore mechanism is the best way of getting the communication going extremely well between the different groups.
One of the striking things about being in this area are all the cables that you have suspended from the ceiling. I can't say that I've seen that before. So can you elaborate a little bit more on the design and the infrastructure here?
Yeah, well, I'll say, Bill, you've definitely never seen it before, because this is totally sort of custom made for SEI.
Oh, so this is your deal, right?
Yeah, this is our deal. And one of the things that happened here is when we moved into this area, this new building, we realized that the type of work we were doing was very team-oriented. There's not a single office in SEI.
I don't see one.
And so the whole idea was to have teams that could be put together quickly and easily. And so if you look at the tables here, everything is on casters.
Sure.
Everything is mobile. And then you see, we call these things pythons, these cables that come down from the roof. And at any time, what somebody can do is they basically connect into here for your computer and your phone. Right? It's a TCP/IP connection. You roll your desk in, you connect your system up, and you're there. And even for you, for instance, arriving at the front desk, you would now be able to see that I was here rather than where I was 10 minutes before.
So this locates you on where you're positioned?
This locates you as well. But the key thing is we can put a new team together within 10 minutes. Whereas, in the old days with cubicles, remember those days?
Yes.
You'd be able to, it would take a lot of infrastructure, and moves could be very costly and take weeks and months to do. So this is a fundamental piece of SEI and how we put teams together.
It's very striking once again to see all the down cables, but there's a method behind the madness, because it looks maddening a little bit seeing all the cables around. But when you talk about being able to move the teams so flexibly, I see that it makes sense.
And literally everyone from somebody working down here to the CEO is in something this size and connected to a Python like this. It's a way of flattening your organization as well. Everyone knows what's going on.
This is good. This is really good.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm doing on FPPad Tech Tour is learning about the dedication to advisors and how firms and companies and people are helping advisors be better advisors. So tell me about the advisor side of this business and your passion and dedication to improving their business.
So we were just downstairs in the development area. Up here you are now in the business area, and all of the people here is really part of a product group which is focused almost exclusively on bringing services and capabilities to the advisor. So we have a group here which deals with those technology people to ensure that what we're doing is exactly right for advisors. We have Jerry's group around here, which is the marketing group, which is focused on helping advisors deliver stuff to their clients. And we have over here all of the sales group and the service group focus on answering advisors' questions and pushing into anything that they need to do their business. This bill gets to part of the different model that SEI has. As you know, we are a TAMP, turnkey asset management platform. This actually is a nice model for us because it truly allows us to give the advisor everything. We give them the platform, we give them the operational system, we give them the technology. We have a tagline which is, we give them back their time. Now, other people have taken that tagline, but in our case, we really mean it. We're driving home hard. We give them everything apart from the fact that they're interacting back and forth with their client. And that's why we do custody. That's why we try and take away all of the technical issues that could get in the way. That's why we have an operational group who can answer really any question that they have. And then you've got people like me and my team who are all around the practice management piece, trying to help them both build their business, but also put the technologies in place so that they can, once again, focus on their clients rather than their internal work.
After learning about SEI's investments in technology as well as their culture, I spotted the perfect place to ask Raef why he's so passionate about the growth and success of advisors.
Raef, we're here in a room with two sharks made out of rubber tires. I cannot resist my temptation of giving you the shark cage type of question. You've told me about the environment set up with the Python cables. You've told me about the support for advisors. I'm really looking for some information from you about your passion, your dedication to advisors. Why have you been doing this for so long, and what motivates you to help advisors be better advisors?
That's a Shark Tank question, I think. That's a.
I'm throwing you under the water.
I see that. From my side, I come from a technical background. I'm from that sort of area, but all my time I have been focused also on that sort of client interaction. And for me to be able to come up with new services and also be able to work with partners and come up with strategic partners whereby we can maximize what SEI can do for advisors, for me is very exciting. This is something where I can make a lot of difference, sometimes with not a lot of money, but bring a lot of value to advisors in that sort of scenario.
So I feel you firmly believe in the value that advisors provide to their end clients, and like me, see the leverage possibility. By helping advisors, then it leverages to all of the end retail investors to help their personal situation.
Absolutely, and the ability, especially in that office space where they're doing their business, to be able to come into that, to really try and understand that, and to bring technology and solutions which they can then use with their clients, that's the exciting stuff.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you're also trying to innovate solutions, things that don't exist, and roll those out to advisors. So coming up with completely new resources, completely new techniques. So again, you can reinforce the value of advisors.
I hope so. And from my perspective, an example of that would be our process-wise piece, where a lot of people in our area was talking about integration and integration points. Advisors don't want to talk about integration. They don't want to talk about technology, but they do want to talk about their workflows and how their office works, and to be able to sort of switch that integration story to one of the work that goes on in their office. And by the way, it's totally integrated with technology. That for us was very exciting, and we've had a lot of good feedback from advisors on that.
You could say Rafe survived his experience in the shark cage, so in return, he challenged me to put my own olfactory senses to the test with a wine tasting challenge.
So I enjoyed hearing how passionate you are about supporting advisors, but it appears you have another passion that is personally part of who you are.
This is certainly part of who I am, and I thought this would be a good way to finish this off. You may have picked up I'm English, and
A little bit.
the English have a very different approach to wine, and there is a mix between wine and investment. And in fact, over in England, we use wine as an investment. And so along the east coast of England, there's all sorts of areas where cases of wine are stored, and it's in the equivalent of a 401k.
This is like a Fort Knox, right?
So Fort Knox, which is heavily temperature controlled, and the English have this setup that they drink for free. Because what happens is they buy 2 cases of wine, they keep one wine for themselves, and then they sell the others.
I see how that
you can
works.
see how that's flawed logic, but that is the way that we do this. So when I came over to the States, I actually ran a blog called wineinvestor.com, because I was certain that that was something that I could bring my investment interest into my wine interest. And I happened to do it at a great time. Between 2000 and 2010, the cost of wine went up 150%.
So you were buying low.
And I was buying low.
Now you
and
enjoy
selling
high.
and the problem is I'm drinking my liquid assets. So I thought what we'd do here, Bill, is we will do it. Are you a wine guy in any way?
Not very much. I'm
Not
a
very much.
beer gentleman.
A beer gentleman.
So I know all
you
the differences in beers.
Okay. It's a similar thing.
Exactly.
It's a very similar thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the sideways taste. Did you ever watch the movie Sideways?
I did many years ago.
It's a 10-year-old film. It's a great movie. It's the best wine-oriented movie there is. And one of the wonderful things about wine is to be good at it, you needn't do any research, you just got to drink a lot.
Just enjoy, right?
Drink a lot.
That's a barrier to entry I think I can overcome.
Can you meet that one?
Absolutely.
So the second thing, though, is if you're going to get to appreciate wine, you should always double fist. You should always compare one wine with another wine.
Oh, good.
So this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
So we're going to pour 2 wines, and then compare them, drink them and compare them, and then talk just a little bit about which one you prefer and why. Okay, let's do left one first.
Okay, that's this one?
Yep.
I have to stir it like I'm a professional?
Yep.
And smell it?
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yes.
I don't know how to describe it. It's very good.
Think of
but
your beer terms, similar sort of stuff.
I see a little bit of sourness in the wine, but it's not bitter. It has a smooth finish to it.
Yep.
But overall, I think a very medium, very mellow type of flavor is how I would describe it.
Now move on to number 2.
Okay. Even more mellow than the first. And a little smoother than the first.
And which one did you prefer?
I prefer the one on my right, the second one, just
second
because
one.
it seemed equally balanced, more smooth, very delightful.
Yep. Do you know enough on wines to say, do you prefer Merlot or Cabernet?
Cabernet.
Cabernet. So you just got that totally wrong.
I'll stick with my brown ales and lager.
So the joke in the movie is, which is a really funny one, was Merlot sales in the movie was pushed down by nearly 10% by a line in the movie where Miles says, I will drink anything but bleeping Merlot.
Right.
And the amusing thing for the wine guys was that his favorite bottle of wine was a Cheval Blanc, which was mainly Merlot. So it was this, even a wine snob can get this stuff totally wrong. So cheers.
Cheers, Rafe. Thank you for hosting me here in Oaks, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's beautiful outside, it's beautiful inside,
Yeah.
but I've also enjoyed learning more about you,
Yeah.
your passions, and the team and environment that you've constructed to benefit advisors, and
Yes.
that is what FPPad Tech Tour is all about.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, I am only the vision of this because I happen to do most of the external work. As you saw, there's a big team back there that brings this to bear for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it was a privilege to be here and interact with your team and help communicate that to my audience so they know how dedicated you are to their advancement.
Well, thank you.
Also, Raef, one of the things that I'm doing on FPPad Tech Tour is raising money and awareness for the Foundation for Financial Planning and all the great grant writing that they do to support pro bono financial planning nationwide. So can I get your support to make a donation to the Foundation for Financial Planning?
Yes, we'd be happy to donate. And in fact, I knew about this, and on your website we've donated already.
Fantastic, Raef. So thank you for your support. And those of you watching, you can also make a donation right on fppadtechtour.com. Scroll down, find the donate button, just like Raef and your team did. Make any contribution that you can, $5, $10, anything. And I very much appreciate your support for the Foundation for Financial Planning.
You're very welcome.
On the next episode of FPPad Tech Tour. Lots of information. Oh, yeah. Oh, good one.